Everyone, would you all please rise and join us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Thank you all for joining us. Please let the record reflect that all board members, with the exception of Mrs. DeRosa and Mr. Brady, are present. Any announcements? Any members of the public wishing to speak on an agenda item? Can I have a motion for the approval of minutes as contained in your packet? Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Personnel, Mrs. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Gallo. I have a motion for the approval of a child rearing leave of absence for Jacqueline Jacobs, English, effective March 5th through June 30th, 2018.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the appointment of regular substitute Nikki Caputi, elementary, effective February 5th through June 30th, 2018.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of Deirdre O'Brien, English, effective February 15th through June 30th, 2018.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the resignation of Jane Riley, special education, effective February 23rd, 2018.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the resignation of Linda Daniels, part-time food service worker, effective February 8th, 2018.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, may I have a motion for the approval of the retirement of Ann Fulwell, senior clerk typist, effective February 27th, 2018, after 28.41 years of service to our school district. And may I say, I don't know if you can put the name of the face. Ann has worked in our counseling office for quite a number of years, and she is one of the ladies that runs our elections, both on regular election day and, of course, our budget day elections, and really does a stellar job of it. She will be sorely missed. She is a class act and a real joy to have around, so we will miss her. She's still going to be back on election day.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of June Mallon, principal account clerk, treasurer, effective February 28th, 2018, after 36.77 years in the district. And June has worked upstairs in the business office for many years, certainly the 12 years you've been there, Mrs. Duffy, I know, and again, has contributed greatly to the district, and she too will be sorely missed.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you to both ladies.
Congratulations and thank you to both.
May I have a motion for the approval of the probationary appointment for Linda Daniels, special education aide, effective February 9th, 2018.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of a probationary appointment for Colleen Ramirez, special education aide, effective February 9th, 2018.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I have a motion for the approval of a probationary appointment of Deborah Girardi, special education aide, effective February 15th, 2018.
So moved. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the high school club and advisors for the 2017-18 school year as listed in your backup.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the spring high school coaches for the 2018 season as listed in your backup.
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the 2018 spring middle school coaches as listed in your backup?
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the instructional swim and family swim program lifeguards for the 2017-18 school year as listed in your backup?
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the homebound instructors as listed in your backup?
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion for the approval of the substitute teachers as listed in your backup?
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And may I have a motion for the approval of the permanent substitute teacher as listed in your backup?
So moved. Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Burns. Dr. Rule, Curriculum.
Thank you. Good evening. So, New York State Education Department has released the graduation rates yesterday, and I am pleased to report that our graduation rate has moved from 95% to 97%, and most notably is the increase of the percentage of students who earn a Regents Diploma with advanced designation, which is 22 units of credit, 79 Regents examinations at 65 or above, and advanced course sequences in languages other than English, CTE, or the arts. Additionally, the graduation rate for students with disabilities has increased from 83% to 92%, with 64% receiving a Regents Diploma and 20% receiving advanced designation. And as I announced last month, we are continuing our deployment of the one-to-one Chromebook initiative at the elementary level with our fifth grade classrooms. As many of you know, our fifth grade classrooms are already outfitted with Wi-Fi. And we are able to reallocate funding we have for grade level carts that we were going to put in, but we do not now have the Wi-Fi for that. And we will hope to have that by the beginning of the school year, now that our Smart Schools plan has been approved. So our technology integration specialist has been meeting with our fifth grade classroom teachers, and we will be ready to deploy those devices to our fifth graders right after the February break. These devices will be one-to-one computing in the classroom. They will not be going home, but we're really excited about what's going to be taking part with our fifth grade students. The classroom teachers have really embraced this, they're enthusiastic, and I know the students are really looking forward to it. Once we finish that deployment, we will then be looking towards the high school to see where we can pilot, where we do have Wi-Fi, and then hopefully before the end of the school year, we're very hopeful that we'll have Wi-Fi throughout the high school as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lewin. And Mr. McGinnis will discuss the meeting of the Finance Committee.
Thank you. The committee met on February 6th. Committee members present were myself and Paul Michalak, board members and other board members in attendance, Steve Geller, administrators present, Superintendent Burns and Wendy Duffy. Others that were present were Jean Mellon, our treasurer, Robert Marcella, the purchasing agent, and Pat Plumpton, the internal claims auditor. And as always, the purpose of the meeting was to review the warrants for the month and discuss pertinent fiscal matters. The meeting was called to order at 7:30 p.m. We reviewed all the normal reports, the treasurer's report for school district funds for December of 2017 and the extracurricular funds for December 2017. They were presented and accepted by the committee. We reviewed the payroll summary report for December of 2017. It was also presented and accepted by the committee. We reviewed the financial statements for the period July 1st of 2017 through December 31st, 2017. The internal claims order report was presented and accepted by the committee, as was the system manager audit trail report for January of 2018. The payroll certifications for January 2nd and January 26th, 2018 were presented and accepted by the committee, and the Finance Committee received the warrants for the month. For board agenda items, we reviewed the budget transfers, which were presented and accepted by the committee for submission to the board tonight. We reviewed several contracts, a 2017-18 health services contract with East Islip Union Free School District, as well as special education contracts with Lindenhurst for the year 2016-17 and 2017-18. Two other items that were discussed. Every year the state does a fiscal stress test on school districts. So Ms. Duffy reviewed with the committee our fiscal stress score for 2017. The score was a 0, which is excellent, means we have no designated fiscal stress. And when they also informed the committee that the district is in compliance with the Affordable Care Act. The meeting adjourned at 7:37.
Thank you, Mr. McGinnis. I'd just like to kind of elaborate on that a little bit. If everybody recalls, while we're in the midst of the gap elimination and that sort of thing, we at one point were labeled in moderate stress. And, then through some difficult decisions and so forth, we worked it down to susceptible to stress and now to no stress at all, to the point where, as Mr. McGinnis said, our score was actually a 0. So I think this is a phenomenal achievement, and we're very pleased with that. Nice work. Okay, Mr. O'Connor will discuss the meeting of the Education Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Fiala. Good evening, everybody. The Education Committee met earlier this evening here at District Office. The meeting was called to order at 7:15 p.m. Members present were Mr. Geller, myself, Mrs. Burns, and Dr. Rulin. Others present was Mr. Mahal. First on the agenda was a review of the response to intervention plan revisions. The Education Committee reviewed the updated response to intervention plan, which expanded to the middle schools and targeted instruction in literacy and math. Second on the agenda tonight was a FLES opportunity, which is foreign language in elementary schools. The World Language Department has been working on opportunities to provide foreign language experience in the elementary schools. Students from the World Language Honor Societies are volunteering their time to teach elementary school students many lessons. The focus will be on teaching numbers, days, and months, etc., and supplementing those lessons with bilingual, books, worksheets, and interactive puppet demonstrations. Students will be encouraged to use the language while having fun and being creative. Students will also be able to choose books on their level from RAS Kids to enhance their experience. Each lesson will be 30 minutes in length for approximately 10 sessions. Elementary teachers were surveyed to ascertain their interest and subject to the availability of the students. And we are pleased to report 40 teachers responded, and all schools and grade levels are represented. The world language students are enthusiastic about this opportunity, and the committee discussed that we're very optimistic and hopeful that this is something will continue and even grow in the coming years. And the meeting adjourned at 7:45 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. And Mr. Mitchell will discuss the meeting of the Buildings and Grounds Committee.
Building and Grounds Committee met on February 6, 2018. Time to start at 7:40 with the District Office Boardman. Members in attendance were Scott Brady, Paul Mahalik, Sherman F. Burns, Wendy Duffy, James Fonsi. Members absent were Kevin O'Connor. Others in attendance were Steve Geller, Tom McGinnis, and Gary Robinson of DPS. First thing we discussed was the bond projects. We got a full update on it. Mr. Robinson provided a bond update for all phases and reviewed the security vestibule plans for the elementary and the middle schools. Information regarding glass impact was discussed, materials provided for the board's consideration. Next up was equipment use. The committee is considering the practice of sharing equipment with other districts on an as-need basis. As this also serves a benefit to West Islip, the practice is mutually beneficial to all districts. Security cameras. The committee considered the practice of sharing equipment with the other districts on, security cameras. To increase the storage capacities of security cameras, the IT department recommends adding 2 additional storage servers to allow for all cameras to record 24/7 with adequate capacity for 30 to 45 days of recorded video. The cost estimate is pending. Permits. Schedules and preparations are in place for the use of high school, Beach Street, and Udall gyms for a multi-town soccer tournament on February 3rd, 10th, and 11th. A high school performing arts center that has been rented for most For the winter and spring weekends for dance competitions and recitals, or for other performance purposes, while protecting the district's own programs and local community dance groups and studios. The Hall of Fame. A plan is in place to explain the Hall of Fame this winter to allow for more award plaques. The Hall of Fame committee will pay for all associated costs for this job. Tenants. South Shore Children's Center has requested to lease 2 additional classrooms. The committee will support this for consideration by the board. The hallway door that was added at Westbrook to limit the access to South Shore Children's Center has been painted and the badge card reader installed. Access credentials for the uses are being assigned. Divine Rhythms has completed the installation of the new air conditioning units in the former cafeteria. Mr. Bassi is verifying the electric metering devices are installed so that the district can monitor consumption. And that concluded our meeting and adjourned at 8:45.
Thank you. Mr. McGinnis will discuss the meeting of the Committee on Special Ed, Preschool Special Ed.
Thank you. The committee met today, February 8th, in district office. Board members in attendance were myself and Ms. LaRosa. Administrators present were Jean Dowling. The meeting began at approximately 8 a.m. As usual, we reviewed the CSE and CPSE placement modifications and IEP modifications, and everything was in order. Discussed student placements, and Ms. Dowling noted that the annual reviews will be starting coming up in about a month, and we'll start the whole process. The meeting ended at about 8:20.
Thank you, Mr. McGinnis. Mr. O'Connor will discuss the meeting of the Policy Committee.
Thank you. We have 2 policy revisions up for first reading tonight. First is policy 7122.2, which is release time of students. I will read it to you. Written request from the parent/guardian for the release of students generally will be honored. The appropriate time and reason for absence shall be recorded on the attendance record using the procedures mandated by the state. The building principal shall assume this responsibility or shall designate an individual to review and approve all requests. Release time during school lunch. High school seniors may be permitted to leave the school during lunch periods subject to rules and regulations established and enforced by the superintendent to assure, A, the students have parental permission to leave school grounds during the period, and B, the students exit in an orderly fashion, obey driving rules, and return promptly for classes. This privilege may be rescinded for a senior or group of seniors who loiter in public places, commit a public nuisance, or do not observe the school-established rules. Release time during the school day. When a senior has fulfilled all graduation requirements, they may be granted the privilege of leaving school property after 7th period. Other students who are scheduled for the study period for the final period of the school day may be granted this privilege to participate in an approved and verified work-study program or verified student employment. The administration shall ensure that A, students have parental permission to leave school grounds early. B, students have a good attendance history. C, seniors are carrying a minimum course load of 6.5 credits plus physical education and sufficient credits to qualify for graduation. D, students have a verifiable paid or unpaid work reason or career connection, such as a job, coaching, or internship. E, the entering and exiting of school properties conducted in an orderly manner, and students do not loiter on or near school property. Students granted the privilege to arrive late or leave early shall not be provided with bus transportation to or from the school. And the second policy up tonight is policy 7224, community service. The Board of Education desires that students shall become concerned, connected, and contributing members of the West Islip community and the world at large. To this end, effective with the class of 2022, it is expected that all students engage in community service as a requirement for graduation. Those students who have completed 100 or more hours of community service during the high school career shall receive a diploma endorsement and will be recognized with a seal that will be affixed to their diplomas through notation on their official high school transcript and in the graduation program. Regulations will be developed to guide the community service and involvement programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Penn. I do have one correction. There's still an error in the release time policy, 7122.2. The very last sentence should read, students granted the privilege of leaving early shall not be provided with bus transportation to or from school. So it should not say to arrive late or, so that should be deleted. Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Duffy will discuss financial matters and business items.
Our treasurer's report, the balance in our accounts on November 30th was $18,409,064.54. The balance in the accounts on December 31st was $11,539,074.40. Next is budget transfers. I have a motion to approve budget transfer number 3460 through number 3466.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve the health service contract with East Islip School District in the amount of $2,123.98.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
May I have a motion to approve the special ed service contracts with Lindenhurst School District for the year 2016-2017 and the year 2017-2018.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Duffy. Okay, can I have a motion for the approval of the memorandum of agreement with UPSEU?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. So this is a new contract or contract extension. The salary increase will be the same structure as all the other bargaining units. It'll be the annual CPI, or Consumer Price Index, with a minimum of 1% and a maximum of 2%. We're also adding a career increment level. We increased the differential in a couple of spots, added holidays for part-time cafeteria workers, and added vacation days for employees with more than 20 years of service. Can I, all in favor?
Aye.
Forgot where it was. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, can I have a motion for the approval of the student-teacher calendar for 2018-2019?
Second.
Discussion. The key things here are that the first and last days for students will be September 4th and June 26th. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Mrs. Burns?
Just two quick reminders. First of all, tomorrow is PS I Love You Day. As you know, one of our former high school graduates, Brooke DePalma, had worked very hard to put this in place to remind everyone that you are valued. And this has continued. Her work has continued as she went off to college, and it certainly continues here in the district. So if you were to visit tomorrow, you will see a sea of purple as we all celebrate PS I Love You Day. And also, I'd like to encourage all of you to join us on Wednesday, February 28th, right here in the Beach Street Auditorium at 7 o'clock. We will have a presentation on vaping and e-cigarettes by the Department of Health and some other parties as well. Some of the other districts, surrounding districts, have done it. It's been very well attended, and we would really encourage all of you to come. You know, if we would be deluding ourselves if we thought that we did not have students engaging in some activities that may not be healthy and then promote healthy lifestyles in the long term. So certainly we want to head off any of those types of negative behaviors, and I think by educating ourselves, that's one way that we can do that. So again, that's Wednesday the 28th, right here at Beach Street at 7 o'clock in the evening. Thank you.
Any other items? No? Okay, any members of the public wishing to speak? No? All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session where we will discuss personnel, negotiations, and litigation? At the conclusion of executive session, the board will reconvene to public session in the district office boardroom to consider any items for which a vote is required. Of course, all members of the public are welcome to join us for the public session.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good evening.